And we're back. Welcome back to the Auto Authorities. My name is Jay, and this is Gerald, and we're coming to you live. What are we talking about today? We're talking about the fastest and slowest selling cars. What can you take advantage of, and what's a vehicle that you may not be able to take advantage of? We're going to let you know now.
Have you ever felt like you were taken for a ride while buying, selling, or repairing your car? Well, not anymore. I'm Jay, and this is the podcast to tell you what to watch out for, whether you are buying, selling, or repairing your car. With over 26 years of automotive experience, we are the Auto Authorities. This podcast is sponsored by iAutoagent.com. We're real estate agents for cars.
Boom, booyah. Welcome back to the Auto Authorities podcast. I'm Jay. This is Gerald. We're coming to you live. And what are we talking about today? We're talking about the fastest and slowest selling cars. We're going to tell you the cars that you can take advantage of. And we're going to tell you the cars that you might not have an advantage. But before we get going, I want to thank our sponsors, iAutoagent.com. That's I like integrity, autoagent.com. They have two different divisions. They act as real estate agents for people's cars. So the consumer that doesn't want to go to the dealer and doesn't want to sell their car on their own, iAutoagent will do it all for them. Also, when you don't want to go buy the car, we'll do it all for you. We'll find the car, we'll vet the vehicle, we'll deal with the dealer, and you get to go pick up your unbelievable car. And extended warranties, no problem. We can handle any type of extended warranty that you want for your vehicle at a lower cost than the dealer, and we will give you a better policy guaranteed. As well as we have a commercial division. The commercial division is a one-stop shop fleet management program. They will go in and they will handle taking care of the business owner so they don't have to buy the vehicles, maintaining all the vehicles mobily right at the place of business, and selling those vehicles for maximum profit, allowing business owners to focus on running their business. And Gerald, tell us a little bit about Wrestling Spotlight.
24/7 on all of your streaming platforms. You can get us on Local Now, on True TV Plus, on Carbon TV, on Glory Star. All the best independent pro wrestling from around the country. We have from your area, Jay, Glory Pro Wrestling from St. Louis. They're on there regularly. Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling's coming on board. Chicago Style, Central States, Brew City from Milwaukee, and UPW from the UP are just some of the promotions that are featured, along with talk shows, interviews with some of your favorite independent wrestlers from around the country and national performers. Had Davey Boy Smith Jr., the son of the British Bulldog, on. He's an MLW tag team champion now. And this week we're going to talk to Magic Jake Dumas from the National Wrestling Alliance, available on the CW. So lots of great stuff, and we're getting ready to go and cover WrestleMania next month in Philadelphia. We're going to be there live, watching Cody Rhodes going against your friend, the undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world, Roman Reigns, in WrestleMania. So it'll be fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, and then also for those of you that just are joining us, we go live on a Facebook group page called the Auto Authorities, as well as LinkedIn on Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Central Time. And we also are on the Auto Authorities YouTube page, where you can literally leave us comments. We're getting a ton of people from all over the world. We want to hear your comments because we're talking about some stuff that we want to make sure that you feel is valuable, as well as you can go on iTunes, Pandora. Just go to our webpage, theautoauthorities.com. That's theautoauthorities.com. You can send us a message. We want to help you. And let's get into this. What is the fastest and slowing selling cars? What do you want to start with first? Slowest?
Let's do the slowest.
Yeah, let's do the slowest.
This is, if you recognize this car, you're one of a few. This was supposed to be the replacement, the volume car that was going to bring life back to your DCJR dealerships around the country, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram. They got rid of the Jeep Patriot, the old one that looked like the boxy Jeep. That was gone. The Dodge Journey was gone. The Jeep Cherokee is gone. They're killing the Renegade, but it's okay. We're getting the Dodge Hornet, and there it is. That is the single slowest selling car in America, a 418-day supply, the finest vehicle produced with the partnership of Italian, Polish, and American car industry, the Dodge Hornet. And it's probably not actually that horrible of a car. It's basically a rebadge of an Alfa Romeo, a little bit decontented Alfa Romeo SUV, but I don't think anybody knows what it is, and they stopped promoting it almost as soon as they brought it out. It's a $40,000, mid-size SUV thing, but honestly, do you want to buy this over top of a RAV4, a CRV, an Outback, hell, an Equinox, an Escape? I mean, probably not, right? A Tucson, a Sportage?
No. And then you have to think about, too, the Alfa Romeo. When I hear that, I hear really, really expensive to fix.
Well, yeah. I mean, having worked briefly for a Volvo dealership in the past, I understand the difficulty of getting parts from Europe. And the fact that it's made partially in Poland, partially in Italy, partially in America, that just
Yep.
screams bad idea. Because, yeah, you could have something break and it may be quite a while to get it fixed. But, hey, on the bright side, they got enough of them laying around on the dealership lots. They can probably take the part off of one that's sitting on the lot and just swap them out, and they'll replace it when it gets selling. And
Well,
then,
Peter,
the graphic up behind me, because the Hornet's not alone. Take a look at this. These are sales for Jeep, just Jeep brand, from 2018 through last year, and the numbers keep going down.
Yeah.
2018, 973,000 units, and then down, down, down. 642,000 and dropping. Still dropping today. I've talked with Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram dealerships around the country. A lot of them are down something like 75, 80% versus their historical highs. And I think you can see why. Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram has raised their prices in that time period, average retail price by 61%.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. 61% up. How do you justify that? That's
You
unbelievable.
can't. You can't justify it. It's highway robbery. I mean, and that's why one of the reasons why I decided to go get a Jeep Compass for myself is because I knew I had a leg up on the dealer. I already knew it. I already knew I was in the driver's seat. I knew what I wanted to pay, and I paid what I wanted to pay, and that's very rare to be able to do. You know.
Yeah, and you take a look at those brands. I mean, the slowest selling cars in the country are dominated by Stellantis products.
Mm-hmm.
The Grand Wagoneer, right there on the list. You can do a
Mm-hmm.
search on cars.com, on kbb.com, and you can find multiple new 2022 Grand Wagoneers sitting on lots.
Mm-hmm.
$100,000 land yacht just sitting there waiting to
And
not sell.
and they have a lot of problems too. I
Well,
mean, they have had a lot. I mean, obviously, Jeep in general and Chrysler, they have a lot of electrical issues.
mm-hmm.
I know someone right now that bought one. They were trying to get out of it because they keep having electrical issues on the thing. I'm like, well, here's the bad news.
Yeah, well, but
Worth
so
nothing.
for some good news, sales are going up. The month of February, the reports just came out. This is Cox Automotive. They own KBB. They own Manheim. They
Everything.
do a lot of automotive software. They own DealerTrack. Seasonally adjusted sales up to 15.4 million, up from last February's 14.9 million pace. So you're getting back to a pre-COVID level of volume. Sales up 6.3% year over year. So February definitely turned up the heat after a record-breaking cold snap that I think really artificially deflated January sales. I think January sales would have been a lot better, but they were dragged down because of the unprecedented cold snap. You had basically 10 days where the middle of the country was shut down. So I think you can take a little bit of the sales numbers from January and kind of push them to the side because it was so weather affected. February, unseasonably warm, you see the opposite trends. Have you been noticing that in just customers reaching out to you as well?
Yeah. So January was a really, really slow month for us. February was too, really. But just even starting into March, we're noticing a lot more people coming to the market, which is which is normal. Like we always say that the start of selling season is usually April 1st. That's kind of typically the things. And like if you're here's the thing, man, like we want to talk about the fastest and slowest selling cars. If you have a sports car, it's getting to be sports car season here
Oh yeah.
pretty soon. This is the time to sell it. So think about that, those Corvette owners and whatnot. But sticking with everything, Gerald, slowest selling cars. Uh, what are the other things you're seeing out there?
Really it's all the brands that have spiked their prices up. It's going to be your expensive domestic SUVs. Cadillacs, really slow. If you're a Lincoln dealer, you're probably not feeling too good right about now. If you're a Buick dealer, Buick was on a huge upswing because it was the luxury brand that was showing growth. Not quite as much anymore. I think it's the super expensive SUVs are really kind of the ones that are having trouble. And if you take a look, it's all the ones that you'd expect. It's the Grand Wagoneer, it's the Nissan Armada, it's the Cadillac XT6. Those are the ones that are just really dragging. And then a lot of your luxury brands, a Stellantis product as well, Maserati, incredibly slow selling. But
Yeah.
when you start getting up to the way they track the slowest selling and the fastest selling is day supply, the number you want to be at is about 90. 90-day supply is the norm. The old line is it takes 90 days to sell a good car. So the Dodge Hornet, for example, being at a 418-day supply, what that means is if Dodge just stopped making them, they said, forget it, no more, you're not getting any more. The Dodge Chrysler Jeep dealerships would be perfectly fine until about a year and 3 months from now. One other one that's surprisingly slow and really, I think, unexpectedly for Ford, the F-150 Lightning has been selling so slow. You know what you want to say? How slow is it sold? It's sold slow that the new 24s aren't out yet. They're
Well,
made. They're parked in closed down shopping mall parking lots. They're parked at football stadium parking lots during the off season because they're already produced, but they haven't sent them out because they still have 118-day supply of the 2013s.
Yep.
So EVs are really selling slow. The Cadillac Lyriq, look at an average to mid-size Cadillac single point dealership in the Midwest, they probably have 20 Lyriqs on the ground.
Yep.
And I think the dealers would tell you if you ask them, that's about 18 too many.
Yep. To just one last thing with the slowest selling, and then we get to the fastest selling. But I'm seeing that the pickup trucks, like you said, F-150s, Chevy Silverados, the really, really high dollar ones that are 70 something $1,000 for a freaking pickup truck.
Mm-hmm.
And we had somebody come to us through iAuto Agent this month. They have 3,000 miles on a Silverado, and fully loaded, and they want out of it. And my agent
Bad
actually
call.
came to me and asked me, like, what should I do on this? And it's really one of our close. It's actually one of my close business colleagues. It's actually her daughter. And I'm like, listen, they are in trouble. They are in really, really big trouble. They are going to be way underwater on what that thing is worth. And truly, it's a losing stock. And the only way to get out of that vehicle is to go buy another new vehicle and roll the inequity or have enough money to put down. And then that puts you in another bad position.
Mm-hmm.
So you better hope that you love that vehicle that you're getting ready to buy, because you're never going to be able to get out of it.
Yeah.
What do you think about the fastest?
Well, the fastest are exactly what you think they would be, and this is a little bit of a contrast because the fastest also includes some of the vehicles that are listed under the slowest because it's trim levels. F-150s in general, XLTs, XLs selling really well. Silverado, LTs, LSs selling really well. Toyota Camrys if you can find them. But the single best selling vehicles right now are hybrids because people do want the great fuel economy. They're just a little bit hesitant to jump in on the EVs because I think the companies have kind of lost the message. They've lost the narrative. The negatives, the few negatives are being beaten into the ground in the media, and that's kind of overwhelmed the multitude of positives the cars bring. Hybrids have a lot of the benefits of the EVs without the negatives. Your fastest selling vehicles right now are RAV4 hybrids. Camry hybrids, can't find them. They don't exist basically. Priuses have essentially a negative days in stock supply, and Sienna hybrid minivans, they have a 4-day supply.
Wow.
It takes 60 days to ship them. It's a negative 56-day supply.
And are they still going for MSRP?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Toyota sales up 16% year to year. Toyota now getting more allocation. The dealers are feeling better. There is more inventory coming. I think you're going to see Toyota roll right back to the #1 retail position in the country. And it's a little bit late because he stepped down as the president of Toyota, but former president of Toyota, chairman of the board, Akio Toyota. Yeah, that Toyota. It's his name. It's just spelled a little bit differently in Japan. He was saying 2 years ago, we believe hybrids are going to be the way to go, that you need a transition to EVs. Well, Akio was right because
Okay.
hybrids are killing it. Everyone that has a hybrid, they're selling them. Everyone except Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, but yeah.
Yeah. And then Honda too. I mean, like
Yeah.
it's Toyota and Honda. Those are going to be, and I'm even seeing like Hyundais and Kias. There's a supply in those. I mean, you can get those vehicles.
Yeah, and they're going to win. Hyundai and Kia have been able to figure out how to produce cars, so it's a little bit deceptive. They're selling a ton of them. It's throwing off their day supply when you look at fastest selling because they have so much more supply, but they are going to kill it in volume because they're able to crank out cars.
Yep.
If you look at your average market size, a Kansas City, a St. Louis, an Omaha, a Des Moines, Oak City, look at a Toyota dealer, look at a Hyundai dealer. The Hyundai dealer is going to have 3 times the new cars the Toyota dealer does. And that's been consistent for the last couple of years. Their day supply is higher, but their sales rate is astronomically faster because they have so many more cars. So
Well,
it's a little bit of a deception in the numbers.
yeah, when they had the chip shortage, I don't know if you guys remember, a long time ago we talked about that they actually stocked up on them.
Yeah.
They actually saw it coming, which was I mean, they were like the only manufacturer that actually stocked up on them. So they didn't get hit as hard as some of the other manufacturers. Gerald, anything else? I mean, we hit the fastest and slowest selling cars.
No, that's about it. It does help to be Hyundai though, because they are a vertically and horizontally integrated monopoly. They own the means of production. They own the distribution. They own the ships that they send the cars over in. They're
Smart.
a put together company. They're ready to roll.
They
So
are.
sometimes the country you come from, their laws tend to give you a little bit of an advantage.
Well, everybody be sure to subscribe to the Auto Authorities on the YouTube page, hit subscribe and the notification button, and leave us comments. Drop down in the comments anything that you want to know. If there's a topic that you want us to talk about, let us know, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
See ya.